Om Shanti. Spiritual drill. Bhagdada is looking at all the children's sweet silence stage to see to what extent you have practiced being stable in the stage of silence in a second. Are you able to stabilize in this stage when you want, or does it take time? Your eternal form is of sweet silence, whereas your original form is of coming into sound. However, your original and eternal sanskar is of silence. So, while knowing your eternal sanskar, your eternal form and your eternal nature, are you able to stabilize in that form when you want? You have had 84 births of coming into sound, and your practice has therefore always been of coming into sound. However, because of your eternal form and because it is now the end of the cycle, you have to return to the home of silence. The time to go home is now close. It is now the time to finish all the parts of the beginning, middle, and end, the three aspects of time, and to become stable in your eternal form and your eternal stage. This is why at this time this practice is more necessary. Check yourself to see whether you have become a conqueror of your physical organs. When you don't want to come into sound, does the sound of the mouth pull you? This is called spiritual drill. Just as these days they say that the cure for all illnesses is exercise, similarly, to make the soul powerful at this time, you need to practice this spiritual exercise. No matter what the atmosphere around you may be like, even if there is some disturbance while staying in the midst of sound, you now have to practice over a long period of time being in the stage beyond sound. It is not a big thing to create a peaceful stage in a peaceful atmosphere. You now need to practice being peaceful in the midst of peacelessness. Do you know how to have such practice? Whether it is the disturbance of your weaknesses or the disturbance of waste thoughts because of your sanskars, are you able to make yourself unshakable amidst such a disturbance, or does it take time? When it takes time, it can deceive you at any time. At the time of completion, that is at the end, you are not going to get a lot of time. The paper of the final result will only be a few seconds or a few minutes. However, you will receive a number on the basis of the extent to which you remain unshakable in the midst of an atmosphere of disturbance all around. If you have had the practice over a long period of taking time to become unshakable in an atmosphere of disturbance, then what will be the result at the end? Therefore, practice the exercise of spiritual drill. You need to be able to stabilize your mind wherever you want for as long as you want. The final paper is very easy and you have been told in advance what paper you are going to get, but the number will be given in a very short space of time. Let your stage also be powerful. While each of you has everything, a body, relations of your body, sanskars of your body, people, possessions, vibrations, and the atmosphere, let none of them attract you. This is called being a conqueror of attachment and having a powerful form. So do you have such a practice? People will be crying, whereas you will remain unshakable, no matter how much the elements of nature and Maya come to make their final claim and pull you to themselves. You will have to remain absorbed in the love of the Father while being loving and detached. This is called seeing and yet not seeing, hearing and yet not hearing. Let there be such a practice. This is called the stage of being in the sweet silence form. Nevertheless, Bhagdada is giving you time. If there is anything missing, you can fill in that gap now, because you have been told about the account of a long period of time. So you now have a small chance, and you therefore have to pay full attention to this practice. Whether you pass with honors or simply pass with pass marks, it all depends on this practice. Do you have such a practice? When the bell of time rings, will you be ready, or will you think that you still have to get ready? The rosary of the 8 jewels is small because of this particular practice. It is of a very short time. You people say that everyone has a right to claim the inheritance of liberation or liberation in life in a second. So, to receive a number at the time of completion is also a matter of a short time. However, let there not be the slightest disturbance. Simply say a point and become stable in that stage. The point should not fluctuate. It should not be that at that time you begin to practice, I am a soul, I am a soul. That will not work, because you have already been told that the attack will be from all sides. Everything will have a last trial. However much power the elements have, however much power Maya has, they will all come to test you. It is their last trial or test, and also your last final stage of being karmatheet and free from karmic bondage. The scenes on both sides will be very powerful. They will be in full force, and these will be in full force. However, your victory in just a second will cause the drums of victory to beat. Do you understand what the last paper is? You all have and must keep the pure thought of wanting to be number one. So only when you win in everything, everywhere, will you become number one. If you have the slightest wasteful thought in any single situation, or if your time is wasted, your number will go down. So check everything, check all around you. Double foreigners want to go fast in everything. Therefore, starting from now, make intense effort and pay full attention to this practice. Do you understand? You know the question and you also know the time. So all of you should pass. If you know the question in advance, you are able to prepare yourself and then pass. All of you are those who are going to pass, are you not? Blessing. May you be humble-hearted and by renouncing the consciousness of the body, be free from anger. The children who renounce the consciousness of their body can never get angry, because there are two reasons for getting angry. One, when someone tells lies. Two, when someone causes defamation. These two things give birth to anger. In such situations, with the blessing of being humble-hearted, have mercy on those who defame you, embrace those who insult you, consider those who defame you to be your friends, and it would then be said to be a wonder. When you show such transformation, you will be revealed to the world. Slogan. In order to experience pleasure, renounce any dependency on Maya and become free. Om Shanti. Meditation. In the consciousness of myself as a spiritual being, I shed the awareness of my body. I am bodiless, a point of light residing behind the eyes, in the middle of the forehead. This is my seat, my throne in the body. I am a soul seated on my throne in the center of my forehead. I am light and eternal. I am a peaceful soul. Now I shift my consciousness to another dimension, a region of golden red light, my spiritual home, the soul world. Here I meet the Supreme, the one with whom I experience the sweetness of all relationships. God, whom I lovingly call Baba, is my beloved eternal companion. I sit with Baba, God, and feel the spiritual power. I feel all virtues and powers being filled inside me. I am absorbed in the experience of the power of silence, the power of peace, and the power of purity. Enjoying this divine communion with God, I return to the physical awareness with the consciousness of being an embodiment of purity.